The road to Ironwood Estate wasn't just long, it was a surrender. Asphalt gave way to gravel, civilization to an encroaching, ancient wilderness, consuming human passage. For 20 miles, the treeline formed an impenetrable wall of primeval oak and gnarled maple. Their branches, interwoven overhead, created a perpetual twilight, even at midday. My aging Subaru groaned in protest, its tires crunching over loose stones. They felt like forgotten bones beneath the wheels, journeying deeper into the oppressive stillness. The air grew heavier, a damp, earthy scent of soil and decaying leaves. Something else, metallic and faintly sweet, like old blood mixed with iron ore, filled the oppressive atmosphere. Driving for 12 hours, I left behind my city apartment's suffocating normalcy. Muted grief and gnawing writer's block were constant companions. This was a desperate gamble on solitude. This was Ironwood Estate, inherited from an unknown relative. The will's curt demand, to Elias Thorne, live there for 1 year, felt less like a gift and more like a sentence. The GPS sputtered into silence, useless. Then, through a sudden break in the overwhelming verdancy, I saw it. A gate, a suggestion of entry to something forgotten. Two weathered, moss-eaten timber posts leaned precariously like skeletal guardians. A single chain, rusted blood red, hung between them, a broken lock lying in damp grass. I stopped the car, engine idling. The only sounds were ticking metal and the frantic, deafening thrum of cicadas, a sudden, electric hum vibrating through the floorboards. A shiver, not of cold but of something ancient and unsettling, snaked up my spine. The air felt charged, thick with an unspoken history, pressing down. Beyond the gate, a driveway, almost swallowed by overgrown brush and saplings, stretched into gloom. It was less a path, more a suggestion, leading to something forgotten. Taking a breath tasting of loam and dread, I killed the engine. The sudden, absolute silence, broken only by incessant cicadas, was a heavy, suffocating blanket. I pushed open the car door. Its groan on hinges echoed unnaturally, swallowed by the sheer wilderness. The ground was soft, a spongy layer of fallen leaves. I walked towards the gate, scanning the dense woods, feeling an irrational certainty of being watched. Not by animals, but something more patient, more discerning, pressing in. Through a final, gnarled tunnel of branches, the house emerged. Not slowly, but with abrupt, violent presence. It loomed, a vast, skeletal structure of dark clapboard. 2 stories, possibly 3, with a steeply pitched roof. Its single, central dormer window stared out like a cyclops' eye, dark and empty, reflecting nothing. It wasn't just old, it was ancient. Its timbers absorbed the forest's essence, part of its stillness. No smoke, no porch light, no sign of life for decades. A sudden, chilling gust of wind whistled through gaps, carrying a faint, high-pitched moan. It sounded like a mournful sigh, a lament trapped within the wood. This was Ironwood Estate, now mine. My new home, my potential salvation. Or perhaps my tomb. A challenge, a monolith of defiance, awaiting entry. The front door's first touch was like shaking hands with a corpse. Cold, rough wood, pitted with rot, painted faded, peeling hunter green, now a sickly, bruised color. The brass doorknob, oxidized to dull verdigris, resisted, then groaned. With a desperate twist, it gave way, the mechanism protesting entry to the mausoleum scent. Stale, heavy air billowed out, carrying a symphony of forgotten smells, dust, mildew, dry rot, old paper, and something subtly metallic, like stagnant water. I stepped inside, boots thudding softly in profound darkness. Slivers of spectral light through grimy panes illuminated countless shimmering dust motes, like tiny, frantic eyes. The sheer scale was overwhelming. Soaring ceilings lost in shadow. A grand staircase, its twisted banister like petrified vines, curved majestically upwards into the gloom. Yellowed, stiff sheets draped over furniture, transforming them into ghostly, shapeless forms. Each sheet was a shroud, each object a forgotten coffin in the oppressive cold. The air was unnaturally cold, a sharp, penetrating chill from the house's very bones. I whispered hello. The word, small and fragile, was swallowed instantly. My phone's flashlight beam cut a feeble path, inadequate against vast darkness. Each floorboard creak amplified, a mournful lament of the old house. I navigated cautiously. The living room was grand, yet desolate. A massive fireplace held cold ash. A shrouded sofa looked like a sleeping leviathan. A silent grand piano held forgotten melodies. The kitchen air was thick, heavy with old spices and something metallic. An ancient cast-iron stove, a stained porcelain sink, looked out onto dense, oppressive woods. Upstairs, the cold intensified. The stairs groaned under my weight. More shrouded furniture. For bedrooms, each with a massive, four-poster bed draped like an altar. At the hall's end, an attic door with a pull-down cord, like a forgotten noose. I avoided it, an instinctive aversion pushing me away from its ominous presence. My chosen room, smaller, overlooking the front drive, felt less oppressive. Bathed in the most direct sunlight, I began unpacking, a defiant act against stillness. The first night, a slow descent into primal fear. Absolute darkness pressed against window panes. Inside, the house exhaled, coming alive with deliberate, rhythmic sounds. A soft, imperceptible scrape from above, then silence. A drawn-out groan from walls. A faint, high-pitched whining from everywhere and nowhere, making my teeth ache. I woke with a jolt, gasping, heart hammering. Convinced I'd heard a whisper, my name, Elias. But the absolute, terrifying silence that followed made the world hold its breath. Days bled into a week. I tried establishing a routine, hauling my desk, cleaning. Each cloth swipe felt like an affront to the house's quiet dignity, stirring something. Subtle shifts began. A faint smell, wet earth and old iron, would drift then vanish. Doors I closed, later found ajar, a sliver of darkness beckoning. Books rearranged, spines facing wrong ways. Little things, easily dismissed as forgetfulness or quirks. But they accumulated, like tiny scratches on glass, obscuring reality. Clearing a path, I stumbled upon a rusted iron gate, almost swallowed by thorny bushes. Beyond, a faint path led to ancient, impossibly wide trees forming an impenetrable canopy. The air in that ancient grove felt heavier, colder. An ancient, primordial silence hung there, thick, suffocating. No birds, no insects. Like entering a forgotten temple. An inexplicable pull, morbid curiosity, urged me forward. But instinct screamed retreat. My heart pounded. I fled, leaving the path undisturbed, a sense of dread. Back inside, the sounds continued. The scrape upstairs, now distinct, like something dragged. The whining, closer, a low hum resonating in my chest. I documented occurrences, a writer's habit, to anchor reality, proving I wasn't losing my mind. Each entry began with a date, time, and flimsy rationalization. Then came the dream. Vivid, cinematic, terrible clarity. I was a child, not myself, hiding terrified beneath a four-poster bed in a room I knew was this house. Smoke thick, metallic smell. Muffled screams downstairs, a heavy thud, then silence. A dark, gloved hand slowly pulled velvet curtains shut, plunging the room into absolute darkness. I woke, gasping, drenched in cold sweat, scent of smoke clinging. Dark boots, deliberate movement, burned into memory. Too real, someone else's terror intruding. Prying a stuck drawer, it clicked open. A false bottom revealed a small, leather-bound journal, yellowed, brittle, and very old. Inside, Eleanor Vance, 1888. As I read Eleanor's 1888 journal, a chill colder than any draft permeated the room. Entries chronicled familiar horrors, the house whispers. Scraping from attic. Objects move. Porcelain doll facing wall. Spectacles on floor. I am not absent-minded. Her words echoed my own creeping dread. This wasn't just an old house. I saw it, Mother. A shadow, slipping behind doorframe. A coldness followed. I fear I am not alone. My own fleeting distortions, dismissed as imagination, echoed. The woods called, a silent, insistent summons. Armed with a hatchet and unease, I tackled the path behind the house towards the ancient, shadowy grove. I reached the grove, magnificent, terrifying. A circle of impossibly old trees, trunks wide as cars. In the center, a massive, rough-hewn stone like an ancient altar. Strange, swirling symbols, faintly visible, almost worn away by time on the stone's surface. Primal, uncomfortably familiar, like a half-remembered nightmare, unnerving. A profound coldness settled. A faint, low, insistent hum vibrated from the earth itself, the sound I'd heard indoors, now magnified, filling the oppressive air. Then I saw them. Not animals, but bones. Small, bleached white, scattered among roots. Some too small, too delicate. One, half-buried, looked suspiciously like a tiny, human finger bone. A sickening wave of nausea washed over me. I turned and fled, not looking back, scrambling, tripping, heart hammering, a frantic rhythm against my ribs. I locked myself back in the house, feeling safer despite its insidious whispers. The journal became my terrifying anchor, my guide to the unfolding nightmare within. I read Eleanor's entries with desperate hunger. The cold follows me. In the kitchen, parlor, my bed. I wake to find my breath misting. He is blind. The mirror. I saw a tall, gaunt figure, cloaked in darkness behind me. My reflection distorted. When I spun, nothing. Only the cold. Eleanor saw it. The voice began subtly, just at edge of audibility. A faint murmur, like wind through dry leaves, but syllabic. Never clear, never understood, always there. It would coalesce from silence, a low, guttural thrum, then dissipate. Mocking, warning, inviting. I began experiencing periods of lost time, disorienting gaps. One oppressive evening, a storm brewing, electricity flickered violently, then snapped. The house plunged into absolute darkness, my phone at 10% battery, a fragile link. Through the storm's cacophony, I heard it. Clearer now. The scrape from upstairs, distinct, like something heavy dragged, stopping directly over my head. Then, a new sound. A faint, rhythmic thump, thump, thump. Like something dropped, gently, repeatedly. My blood ran cold. My mind screamed to run. Driven by morbid curiosity, I ascended the grand staircase. Each creak a gunshot. Cold intensified. Thumping grew louder, clearer, from the master bedroom. At the top, air felt like ice. Breath misted. Master bedroom door, previously closed, stood ajar, a sliver of darkness within. Thumping ceased, replaced by something new. A new sound from the room, wet slithering. Then the smell. Stronger. Earth, rust, something profoundly organic. The stench of decay, of death, filled the frigid air. I pushed the door open, hand trembling, lamp nearly slipping. The room, in shadows, only had feeble light. The grand bed's draped sheet was a ghostly white. On the floor, a dark, viscous trail stretched across planks, leading to a small, wooden trunk against the far wall. The slithering sound emanated from within it. The trunk. Eleanor's journal, where he kept his cruel things. I must never touch it, but it draws me. It breathes. Now, its lid slowly lifted. From the widening gap, the metallic, earthy smell intensified. A shape emerged, a swirling mass of shadow, darker than night, coalescing from the trunk's depths. Tall, impossibly thin, it drank the light, dimming the lamp. Its movements were fluid, sickeningly graceful, like liquid darkness pouring itself upwards, beckoning. I felt its cold touch, a psychic pressure, crushing my chest, squeezing air. A whisper, clearer now, formed in my mind. You have disturbed the slumber. My knees buckled. I stumbled backward, dropping the lamp. It shattered, flames sputtering, plunging the room into near-total darkness, broken by the dying wick's glow. Darkness wasn't absolute. A sickly green luminescence pulsed from the entity. Within that glow, I saw them. Many eyes, pinpricks of cold, malevolent light, hateful stars. Raw panic seized me. Instinct screamed to flee. My foot hit something hard. The porcelain doll, cracked head, grotesque fixed smile, lying on the floor. Clutched in its tiny, frozen hand. A single, bleached white human finger bone. The same one from the woods. A cold, spectral hand touched my shoulder, icy imprint. You are welcome, Elias. The voice, a guttural snarl, echoed in my head. You will join the others. You will stay. The terror became overwhelming. The spectral touch paralyzed. An existential chill, extinguishing my being. Lungs seized, limbs locked. I was a statue, frozen, facing the swirling malice. A sudden, violent gust slammed the master bedroom door shut, a deafening crack. The sound ripped through silence, momentarily breaking the entity's paralyzing hold. My muscles unlocked. I stumbled backward, tripping over my feet, desperate to put distance between myself and the encroaching, sickly green darkness. The lamp shattered, wick sputtering out, plunging room into absolute darkness. Only the entity's green glow remained, slowly, deliberately moving towards me. I fumbled for the doorknob, slick with sweat. Twisted, pulled, pushed, it refused to yield. The door was stuck, or perhaps held by an unseen force. The entity was closer. Its frigid air pulled at my clothes. Metallic earthy smell intensified, mingled with acrid ozone and burning hair, suffocating me. There is no escape. The Ironwood takes what is offered. The voice, 1,000 voices speaking in unison, filled my head, a symphony of torment. The window, my only way out. I stumbled towards it, intending to smash the glass, desperate to create an escape route from this horrifying prison. An unseen force slammed into my chest, sending me sprawling. I hit the floor hard, head cracking. A flash of white-hot pain exploded, then darkness. Not fully unconscious. Vision swimming, entity's glow a blurry haze. Through ringing ears, I heard it. The familiar scrape from beneath me. The basement. Eleanor's final entries. The cold has taken them. It wants me. It calls from below, from the earth. The cellar, it breathes. It watches. It waits. I must hide. I must lock it away. What it wants, it is not of this world. It feeds on despair, on fear, on remembrance. The entry ended abruptly. Eleanor had gone to the cellar, or been taken. The entity hovered, its green glowing tendrils reaching, probing for purchase in my mind. You remember, it hissed. You remember the others. The fear, the despair. It feeds us. It sustains us. The earth hungers. Ironwood demands its due. With a violent shudder, floorboards burst upwards, splintering. Dust and debris exploded. A dark, gaping hole was revealed, a rough-hewn, stone-lined shaft descending. Unbearable cold from the hole. Metallic scent, damp earth, decay. The entity flowed towards the opening, its shadowy form elongating, stretching, beckoning. The realm of the forgotten. The source of our strength. Come, Elias. Join the chorus. Give us your fear. It was a portal to ancient horror. My mind raced. I had to fight. This wasn't just a haunting, it was a consumption. It wanted to consume my consciousness, bit by terrifying bit. I looked frantically for a weapon. My eyes fell upon an old, cast-iron fireplace poker, leaning against the cold hearth. Heavy, substantial, a relic. With a desperate surge of adrenaline, I lunged for the poker, fingers closing around the cold, rusted metal. The entity recoiled, surprised by my resistance. Foolish mortal, it snarled, laced with fury. You cannot fight what is inevitable. It surged forward, a wave of frigid air preceding it, battering me. I swung the poker blindly through its shadowy form, meeting no resistance. A mocking laugh echoed. But the physical blow wasn't the point, it was defiance. The entity paused, form pulsating, green glow intensifying. Angered. You will be broken, it hissed. Just as they were broken. The pain will be exquisite. It extended a shadowy tendril, impossibly thin, snaking towards my neck. I dodged, stumbling back towards the gaping hole. This was a drawing, luring me closer. The gurgling from below grew louder. The green glow intensified, almost blinding. Give us your sorrow, Elias. Your grief. Your despair. Join the realm. I forced myself to breathe, pushing back panic. Eleanor's words. It feeds on despair. On fear. On remembrance. I must not remember. I had to deny it. No. I roared, voice hoarse, defiant. I won't give you anything. You won't have me. The entity shrieked, a sound of pure, concentrated fury. Shadowy tendrils lashed out, faster, thicker, reaching for my face. I ducked, feeling the icy whip of air. Cornered against the hole, my heart pounded. My only chance was to understand its weakness. Eleanor's journal, it feeds on despair. On fear. On remembrance. What if remembrance was also its prison? The entity surged, a wave of frigid terror, a hungry maw of malice. Its invisible force pushed, trying to knock me into the gaping shaft below. I had to deny it, starve it. I couldn't let it consume my memories, my essence. With a primal scream, I swung the poker at the hole's rotten edge. The heavy metal slammed into rotten wood, a sickening crack. Splinters flew, a section of weakened wood crumbling into the darkness below, shattering its domain. The entity shrieked, a piercing, inhuman wail. It recoiled, its green glow flickering, dimming, as if its power source was momentarily disrupted, thrown off balance. Taking advantage, I lunged into an opening in the wall, a cramped, dark alcove. Squeezed inside, pulling broken wood fragments to barricade the opening desperately. My eyes scanned the tiny space. Shelves of old books. Hidden in back, a small, intricately carved wooden box with the strange, swirling symbols. A jolt of cold recognition, remembrance. This was it. What Eleanor stumbled upon. The box. The conduit. The entity clawed at the barricade furiously. I fumbled the latch. It clicked open. I lifted the lid. Inside, old wooden figures, contorted in agony. In the center, a polished obsidian stone with symbols. Holding it, images flooded. Ancient rituals, crude altars stained dark, a primal covenant. Sacrifices offered, not of life, but of memory, feeding nameless hunger. They carved fears, despair into these figures, into this stone, capturing human suffering, sealing it away, believing they pacified the hungry spirit of the land. But they were feeding it. The entity outside roared. You know, you understand. You dare to remember. You dare to touch the source. I clutched the obsidian stone, warm and throbbing, stared into the entity's swirling eyes. It wasn't evil, it was power flowing through it, concentrated fear. You are nothing but a memory, I yelled, voice ringing with desperate conviction. A memory of suffering. And I won't remember you anymore. The entity shrieked, a deafening, agonizing sound, unraveling. Its form flickered, dissolved. The green glow fractured, diminishing into countless sparks, then vanished. Silence. Absolute, profound. The cold dissipated. I collapsed, gasping for breath, poker falling. I had done it. Fought back. Survived. My body trembled. My eyes found where the stone hit the wall. Plaster cracked, revealing a cavity. Nestled within, the small, dark stone, now inert, broken. The source shattered. The silence was a vacuum. Adrenaline drained, leaving me weak, shivering. Muscles ached, head throbbed. I pushed myself up, limbs protesting with every slow movement. I scanned the darkened master bedroom. The gaping hole remained. The trunk open, empty. The porcelain doll, with its bone, gone, swallowed by debris. The house hummed with residual, wounded energy, less malicious, more mournful. I stumbled down the staircase, my goal, get out of Ironwood, forever. At the front door, I paused. An inexplicable urge pulled me to my study. I needed my journal. A final proof, an anchor to my shattered sanity. My journal lay open. I picked up my pen, fingers stiff, and wrote. I faced it. I defeated it. I shattered the source. I am leaving Ironwood. Forever. But as I wrote, a faint thrumming began, not in the house, but in the air around me. A subtle vibration, resonating deep within my bones. The metallic earthy smell, though faint, returned. A profound, insidious cold settled in my stomach. A familiar, unwelcome presence, a deep dread. My head snapped up. Nothing. Shadow still. Dust motes danced, undisturbed. Yet, my eyes fell upon my reflection in the dark, dusty window pane. Just behind me, barely visible, a faint, transparent shimmering. A greenish haze. A subtle distortion. The suggestion of eyes, pinpricks of light, undeniably present. A whisper, barely audible, slithered into my mind. Not fury, but a soft, seductive murmur. You remembered, Elias. My blood ran cold. I defeated the entity, shattered its source. But its source was remembrance. I hadn't merely remembered. I had understood. I had become the conduit. The entity wasn't truly gone. It transferred, imprinted itself upon me. The revenge realm was a contagion, latching onto those who delved too deep. Ironwood was leaving with me. The malevolent energy, hunger, remembrance, now inside me. I was the new vessel, the new conduit, the next link. A cold, mirthless laugh bubbled up, not my own, but a chorus of whispers. I was no longer just Elias Thorne. I was something more. Something less. I walked out, leaving the front door ajar. Got into my car. As I drove away, I didn't look back. I didn't need to. I could feel it within. The cicadas were silent, but I heard other whispers, not from outside, but from my own mind. They spoke of hunger, of despair, of remembrance. I would never write another book. My words etched on my soul, a chronicle of suffering. I was not escaping. I was expanding Ironwood's boundaries, carrying its ancient curse, its hungry spirit, into the wider world. A warning, a lament, a terrifying invitation. The story is far from over. If you survive this story, like and subscribe for more nightmares. The terror continues in our next video.